Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with ReZero Season 4 episode number 13 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, we got the whole situation kind of under control. Ram, who was obviously furious with Subaru and everything, we had a proper conversation with her and thing with her is kind of okay now. Subaru like promised her that like no matter what happens, even if he doesn't remember Rem, he will bring his her memory back. And everything back, bring her back, like to her normal self. So yeah, that was that. Then we had the section with Meili. It turns out Meili was the one who pushed Subaru, and it was in a weird and complicated way because of Elsa, because of how big Elsa was a part of her. Losing that part of her made her lose herself. So she had no clue what to do, how to respond, how to react. So she acted like that. In the end, Subaru also had a conversation with her, and Emilia was also there, and they were like, don't worry, like now we are here, like you like because how she grew up, there was literally nobody with her except Elsa, so Elsa became such a big part of her. And now with so many other people, everyone was like, yeah, like like look at us, like we will guide you the show you the way. Right, so all that stuff kind of got resolved, you know mostly. And now we have to deal with Raid Astria. So yeah, let's see. For now, Subbu said that we have to go to the library and get his book. So let's see what we find out in today's episode. So yeah, let's get started. Episode number 13. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync the timer and the subtitles to the original video and watch it alongside my reaction. Yeah, let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Uh, hmm. Yeah. Well, whatever does the job. Hoodwinking? Why not? Hmm. Oh, yeah, true. Oh my god. Wow. Well, she's an elf. Or, you know. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, true. Lively dead man. Alright. Yeah. Let's read a guidebook. A walkthrough. And see what we can do. Yeah, I think he wanted to defeat him like normally. You know, in a fair fight. Uh, what? Oh, intention. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. No, yeah, true. Yeah, I have full faith in you. Determination not to lose. The way I see it. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that he's also. I genuinely forgot about that. Good lord. Oh damn, that was quick. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Yeah, like what we can guess. Wait, wouldn't it be better for Julius to read this? Because I guess it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. She, she probably didn't even understand what that meant. Yeah. The- what? Oh, she knows. Oh boy. Damn. I guess that's one way. Right. Okay. Right. Here we go. So he will be What the hell? Okay, this is different from the other times. What's going on? Usually we get to see like their past, right? Oh my god. Ah, here we go. I forgot her name. What was her name? Only white fun. Oh, what? Hmm. Oh yeah, Riarnib. That was the name. Okay, so I wonder if the previous super also saw. Oh yeah, he doesn't remember. No, there's more of her. It's her brothers or whatever they are. Oh, so, yeah, okay. So there's like they switch. No, but they don't. Big brother, brother dearest. Nisama. Oh my god. Oh god. Here we go. Well, because right. Oh wait, did it? Okay, did she switch? Souls are filtered. Yeah. Oh boy. Hmm. Oh, the wait. What are those? Oh, those things. Oh, all the Mobbies. Okay, that's. Oh my god. Damn. Ooh. Yeah, that's too many of them. Oh boy. What? Wait, someone's there. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so. Right. Fifth. Yeah. Uh, right. That's true. Hmm. Represent that easy version of that. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, you think. Man, shut the hell up. After all those deaths, you think. Okay. Okay. Well, the stranger who's closest to you. Oh, wait, what? Someone else is here? What the? Oh, damn, even she's not. Wait, she's not. Oh! Right. But. What? That. Damn it. What was her name? She just disappeared. I guess, like, he's so focused on Rem that she's not registering in his head. Hmm. No. Right. I see. So, oh, that's why they cannot take his. So that's why they cannot take this version's memory, I guess. I don't know. That's what she's saying, I think. Yeah, you're asking him. Oh, that's why they're like trying to eat the memories of everyone. Oh my god! Like you cannot. Ah, that's why Subaru's so. Uh, oh, okay. Well, oh, right. Okay, wait. So this is yeah. So this is the first Natsuki Subaru, right? No. That's Rem, right? Is that why like Rem formed like a? Hmm. All right. Well, there you go. So the actual mastermind shows their, comes out in front of us. Okay, so yeah, so it was pretty obvious by now that this was Gluttony's handiwork, and here we go. like we get to see what's happening now. um so okay, here's the thing. I still don't understand how wait, just a minute. How did a I don't know who it was. Was it, one of the gluttony, like one of the brothers? What was their name? Roy Alford, and what was the other guy's name? I've forgotten their name. Anyways, one of them came out. How did that happen though? Like from, like, inside, like, the whole thing. I don't get that. Okay, anyways, other than that, yeah, so we get to see, uh after reading Raid, or reading the book of Raid Astrea, this happened. Now, from what I could understand, like when people read these books, they, like, to see their memories, they probably go through a journey like this, and they reach one of the memories and they experience it through that. What happened with Subaru is probably that Subaru got, like, interrupted before reaching that place, because as we were seeing, like, when they were reading the memory of Typhon, right? Like, he was experiencing it with him, like, like from a first perspective view. Same with another memory as well, I think, like whatever it was. Whose memory was that? Or was it only one memory? Whatever it was, but he was experiencing it through his own self. And that's why they were also kind of like getting concerned about the fact if, like, the memory in the book and he himself assimilates so much that he himself, like, gets the shock of death, and, like, it's like something bad happens to him. um so the question is, what the hell is this place then? They explain it, and from what I could understand, I'm assuming that before reaching that memory or experiencing that memory, this is like a pathway they have to go through. And what, like, Riarne, right? What she did is interrupt Subaru from reaching that memory and took his memory, as we saw. But this version of Subaru, as she says, that we have to separate the previous Natsuki Subaru and this Subaru, otherwise we cannot eat the same person twice. And yeah. Okay, so another thing is, so I'm assuming what they were planning is to, okay, wait a minute, let me think, just a minute. So the Subaru over there, like, okay, that happens, loses memories, goes through a lot of loops. This version of Subaru again. Okay. Right. So obviously they are gluttony. Their whole thing is eating. Like, gluttony means eating so much. What they do, they eat memories. So obviously, in a form, you could say, like, gluttony is a form of greed, right? Like, it is like eating, like, and I want to eat more, I want to eat more, I want to eat so much. It is a greed, right, in a sense. So, like, that is why, like, here you can see, I think what their plan was is that, as she explained, that, like, death is something that, no, not that, but the fact that they ate Subaru's memories, and this version of Subaru was born. And then, like, after going through so many loops, this Subaru, now the current Subaru, is also someone who has, like, overcome a lot of trials and tribulations, and has also developed his character in a good way. And now he has reached this far. And now they were planning to probably eat his memory again, but they cannot do that because they cannot eat the same person's memory twice, I guess. That is why they were trying to separate this Natsuki Subaru and the previous Natsuki Subaru, so that they could eat him again. And then the same thing would have happened. He would have lost his memories again, and he would have gone through again these same loops and everything, and he would again probably stand back up, and, like, and then they would eat it, and still keep eating his memories. Is that what they were trying to do? Because I'm assuming that's what they were, like, planning here. Okay, there's a few things that am kind of unclear about. That's why, like, first and foremost, let me go to that place where they explain what this part of this thing is. So they call it, what did they call it? Just a minute. Okay, so this is the lonely white final resting place for souls. Resting place for souls. Lonely white final resting place. The cradle of Odoragna. Odoragna. The corridor of memories. Yeah, so like I was saying, so I'm assuming when they read these book of deaths, they experience these memories. And where do they experience these memories from? They probably go through this passageway, and the proper memory of the person's memory that you're reading, that memory they kind of experience. That's probably what happens, you know. But I'm assuming before Subaru can reach whichever memory he was going to read, like, Rihanna stopped him midway. And that's why he's like in this middle, like, tunnel way, kind of. This corridor of memories, as they call it. Okay. Corridor of memories. Okay, we are the sin of sin, Archbishop, and the wizard. Okay, gluttony. Okay. Okay, so there's another section I want to go and read that section again. Okay, just a minute. We just have a few too many egos, so it's not really clear which one is in charge. Okay, it's a gift from Big Brother and Brother Dear. Oni-chan and Ni-sama. Okay. Okay. Okay, not this part. Let's go back. Not go back, but go forward again. There's another section where they kind of explain something. Where's that part? Now, after this, you can see, like, she was trying to kind of make Subaru, like, kill the other Subaru, like, the original Subaru who with the memories. Because, as, she was kind of saying, like, oh, what do you, like, do you want the previous Subaru's memory to come back? If that happens, your current memories are going to get overwritten. What is your current self going to do? It's going to be a kind of a similar situation as death to you, right? Don't you want to, like stay, and, like, the connections that you have made, they're all just going to get reset again. This Natsuki Super is just going to disappear. So do you want that? You know, that whole thing. Okay, and then Rem comes in and talks to him, yeah, all that stuff. Okay, so then after that, she's like, oh, just one step. We were just one step away from tearing Subari Natsuku and Subari Natsuki apart. Okay, why would you try to? Because we cannot eat the same person twice. Okay, one thing, just a minute. So, the previous Natsuki Subaru. Yeah, they took their memories. The memory is gone. And this version of Subaru is a new Subaru. But it's a bit complicated because I'm trying to kind of, like, trying to understand, like, exactly how this went. Okay, so let's say, obviously the normal way is like it's a straight line, how, like, one thing after the other happens. So the previous Natsuki Subaru, their memory got eaten. This version of Subaru was born. This version of Subaru died, went back again. So they're still on the same line. No, they're not on the same line. That's the thing. These worlds are just left without Subaru. So it branched. So he loops back into another branch where Natsuki Subaru obviously lost his memories, and he wakes up. From that point onwards, he lives the same life again and again dies. This happens like 5 times, as he explains, like one after the other. But each loop that he loops is not the same place that he goes back to, it's a different branch world. So this happens 5 times. So in this world, this final world where he's standing in front of Rui Arnhem, this world, obviously, Subaru hasn't died. And here, basically what happened is previous Subaru lost his memory, woke up, and he's this version. All the character development that this Subaru has gone through were from the other worlds. He loops. So in this world, this is like the first time he's doing this, but it is actually not the first time he's doing this. This has happened 5 times, right? Yeah. So it's like he woke up with like 5 loops worth of memories and experience, and a completely different Natsuki Subaru who has completely conquered his, not completely I would say, but maximum, like, a portion, he has conquered his own like self, I would say. The first Natsuki Subaru, who was completely like a headless chicken as when he woke up without any memories, he's not that Natsuki Subaru. This version, however, is different. It's like worth 5 like memories, loops of memories and experience and everything. But in this world, he's doing this for the first time only. But he just woke up with it. So for Rui Arnhem, I guess you could say, like she knows that, like, because she has taken control of Subaru, that Subaru has this, like this looping thing. She literally asks, like, how many times has this made? Was this? But she doesn't know, like, that's why she's asking how many times. She knows that, like this has happened, but she doesn't know how many times it has happened. And then when he's like, oh, 5 times, she's very happy. Obviously, I'm assuming because, as she's gluttony, like, this version of Subaru is way more, like, I don't know, way more delicious, I guess, to them, because he has like so much, like he's so much worth of memories, I guess. And his 5 like loops worth of memories he has, even though this is the first time. I guess it makes sense. That's why they're so like, like they're so like, what can I say? Like fascinated with Subaru, because Subaru is someone who, like, unlike everyone else who has like only one lifetime worth of memories, he has so many lifetime worths of memories in his head, right? And like, since they eat memories and everything, it's like like you're getting like a plate of food but in the plate where there's supposed to be 1 plate worth of food, there's 5 plate worth of food. Not only that, this is only because of the 5 loops. The previous Subaru went through so many loops. Can you imagine the amount of like Natsuki Subaru's memories they were able to eat? That is crazy if you think about it. Right. Okay. So he says we cannot eat the same person twice. We needed you to stay separate. Now I'm trying to figure out why. Why can they not eat the same person's, like, I guess it makes sense. Like, they cannot eat something that they've already eaten, right? Is that what they're trying to say? Yeah, I think so. I'm not exactly sure, because like she says we. Wait a minute, let me just read it again. Why would you try to? Because we can't eat the same. Yeah, she literally says that you cannot eat the same, like, because they've already eaten the previous Natsuki Subaru, so like they cannot eat the same thing twice, right? Like, it doesn't matter how many plate worths of food they're getting, they've already eaten it, so you cannot eat that. So that's why what they were trying to do was separate these memories from this new Natsuki Subaru, and they were like, oh, we're going to eat this new Natsuki Subaru. His memories. And after eating his memories, Subaru would go through the same cycle, and he would become a completely new Subaru worth of so many different, like, like cycles of memories. This time it was 5, maybe the next time it would be like 10 or something, you know, or maybe it could be less, it could be like 3, but it doesn't matter. They are constantly getting plates of food, like 3 times worth, 5 times worth, 10 times worth, same food from the same person every single time. Subaru is their golden goose, you know, who keeps laying golden eggs. That's literally what Subaru is worth to them. They're like, oh, this is fun. Like, like, we're eating his memories. He comes back with a new version, with sets of new memories. We're going to eat that. And again, he's going to come back with more sets of memories. He's going to keep producing these food for us from the same person. We're going to get so much worth of food. And we're going to keep repeating this. That's what's happening here. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. And obviously, the only problem that they have, and the only like trouble that is in front of them that they have to resolve, is that they cannot keep the previous Subaru and this Subaru. They have to separate them, because obviously they cannot eat the same food twice. Once you eat a plate of food, it's gone. You cannot eat that again. That food is mixed with this new Subaru's food, so they have to separate them. Otherwise, they cannot eat it. And that's why she was so like much trying to make this current Subaru kill the previous Subaru or his memories, so that, like, her job is done. Like, oh, we've separated the previous Subaru from this Subaru. And that's why she was saying stuff like, oh, like, do you want, like, the new Subaru's memories to override you, this and that, like, kill the previous Subaru, blah blah blah, all that stuff, they were saying. Because obviously, unless and until he does that, she cannot partake in this delicious food. Right. Okay, so yeah, okay, I think I understood more or less. Like, while this was playing, while I was reacting, there were so many things I was not able to properly clearly understand. If I think of it like this, I can make sense of what's going on. Like, why she cannot eat the same person twice, this and that, all that stuff. Okay, so another thing. Okay, I'm going to read another part. Okay, this part. So what do you want to be happy? Tell me, mister, have you ever thought life was unfair? You can't choose where you're born. You can't choose your parents. You can't choose your surrounding future. You cannot choose anything. But what if you could? Okay, that's why we are searching for a rose-colored future that will make us glad we live this life. And until we find that fateful life, we'll keep eating, keep biting, keep licking. Okay, so they want to eat someone's memories who have lived the perfect life. Like, as she says, you cannot choose your parents, you cannot choose your life, you cannot choose this, that. So basically, they want someone who is content about every single part of their life, from their birth to their current situation, or maybe to their death. Obviously not to their death, because if they're dead they cannot eat their memories, I guess. I don't know. But in the current version they are, up until that point, they want someone who is content about everything. That is difficult. I would say that is impossible, because I'm pretty sure there's nobody in this life, it doesn't matter how like good they have it, there's nobody in this world who has a life where they are content, or they have been content about every single thing from their birth to their death. That is impossible. That is not possible. Like I said, you can have it, like, you might be like the happiest person in the world, still you will have something that you might regret, or something that you don't like about your life, that like, yeah, it's, and I don't know, Because I don't know, I feel like if there someone like that exists in this world, they wouldn't be human. They would be like some sort of like divine being. If you're like content about every single thing in your life, you will be a divine being. You will not be a human. Like, it's impossible. So I'm assuming that's what they're trying to find, that type of a person, and that's why she's saying we'll keep consuming, we'll keep gluttony, like, eating, unless and until we find this one person who has something like that. I do wonder, after eating that, what would they do? Like, will they be content with everything? You know, and what will they do? Will they stop eating? I'm not sure. But it is impossible basically to find someone like that. So they'll keep eating forever and ever. But no matter how many other people's memories we eat, we cannot obtain a memory. Okay, this is another thing that she says. So we cannot obtain a memory of death. Obviously, you cannot have a memory of death. That is also something that is not possible. People die when they're killed. So yeah, like, you die. You won't have the memory of it because you're dead. So, right. Yeah. Like, yeah, you might die a gruesome death. Maybe you're like bleeding out to death or something. It's taking like 1 hour for you to die. But still, you won't have your memory of death. You will have like the memory of everything up until the previous moment of death. You will never have the memory of death, ever. That is also something that you cannot get. But Subaru is kind of an exception to this, obviously, as we see, because he loops. Like, the main problem with not having a memory of death is that once you die, you die. But Subaru's not like that. He's looping, so he does have the memory of death in a way, you could say. Obviously, the moment of death, he doesn't have the memory. Once you die, you die. You just get looped back. But until the very like last moment of death, he has that memory, and he lives to tell that tale. But obviously, he cannot tell that tale, because if he does, Settler gets angry, he gets out, or I don't know what happens. She just goes crazy, and everyone dies. And Subaru himself cannot. So yeah, like, he cannot do that. These guys are exceptions though, because they are literally inside of Subaru, and that's why I said, like, in one of the previous like runs, if you remember, like, Satella just pops out. I was confused there. I was like, why the hell is she outside? But then I realized a few episodes later, not few episodes, but like a few days later, that it's because these guys are inside of him, and they know about the return by death, and they're literally saying that's probably why Satella got triggered like that. Her whole, like, she just came out, something like that. It must be painful, agonizing. Some people say it feels good. What some people? Nobody can tell anything about death. Once they die, they die. Tell me. Okay. If you have my memories from yesterday, shouldn't you know that? Those are old and they're not real. Yeah, because that's from a different, I guess that makes sense, because to them that's not real, because they're from this world line or whatever. We want a fresher sensation, a juicy new frontier that no one else has ever known, one and a kind of memory that no one else in this world can experience. The ease of being able to die and start over if you make a mistake, even after you manage to find your perfect life, there's still a chance you'll mess up and ruin it, alright? But that's not the case of your life. Won't you let us eat our fill of your life? Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, like, Subaru's like the golden goose to them. Like, oh, you die, but you come back with more worth, like loops worth of memories, and we eat that, and then you, like, your your memory is gone, but then you come back again with more memories, and we eat that again. Yeah, literally. And the funny thing is, like, the story about the golden goose is literally that, oh, like, a golden goose lies golden eggs, and then this greedy person was like, oh, if we like kill that goose and open their stomach, there'll probably be a lot of golden eggs and we can get rich. And they kill that goose and the goose is dead and they realize they're absolute morons, you know. So they literally killed their like golden eggs laying, you know, goose. Thing with Subaru is he's just gonna come back if he dies. With more food for these guys. Oh my god. My suffering, my death, and my life all belongs to me. Okay, another thing I'm trying to understand. Since Rhea Arnab is here, is she like I'm literally talking about how, like, you know, when Subaru dies, he moves back to a different branch of the world line, you know. Um I wouldn't be surprised if Rui Arnab is actually exception to that, because she's standing in this corridor of memories. So this place, there's no different worlds to this. This place probably contains, correct me if I'm wrong, memories of every single world, like every single parallel world. So all Subaru's like death and like all those memories are here. So like I don't know, like this whole like thing about, like, you know, like this parallel world and everything still is a bit confusing to me about ReZero, at least because I don't understand, like I don't know the exact limitations as to what's going on. You know, they briefly kind of explained it before when we saw Subaru dying and all the worlds that he has died is left with no Subaru. But that's all they kind of showed us. You know, they actually haven't really shown us more about this whole like parallel world thing that is going on. You know, like what is that, what are the restrictions, what are the limitations of this, blah blah blah. You know, like nothing. So maybe this is like an exception to that rule. This place might be a place where memories of every single person from every single like parallel world is here or something, I don't know. If that's the case, then yeah, like then Riarnib is obviously exception to that. Like it doesn't matter to her this is which Subaru this is. It's all memories to her, and she's just like, yeah, I'm just going to eat it. Also, I don't understand why she's here in the first place. That's also another thing that I'm not really sure about. Like why is she here in the first place? I don't have a single damn thing to give you. Starve to death, eat and run. This isn't going to go the way it goes. Okay. Okay, and then after that, when you know, like, her brothers are obviously outside, and she's like, "Oh no, like, what's gonna happen?" Super's like, "Oh, I have to go and help them out," and she opens a gate for him to get out of here, and she's like, "Oh yeah, go. Like, I'll make it easier for you to leave this place." Probably because she wants Subaru to, you know, encounter her brothers and die, something like that, or like, or she probably wants them to consume his man. I'm not really sure, but she wants Subaru to go and fight her brothers, probably expecting him to fail somehow. That's why she made it easier for Subaru to leave this place. Okay, so they kind of also show the previous Subaru when he came here for the first place. So Rihanna was like, "Oh, what is this sensation? Dearness. When someone feels dear." And then she takes like all the, like, the memories, like, the good memories, like everything, like, containing Rem, all the memories that Subaru has had, just, like all the character development that he has gone through coming to this world, just took it out and just threw it away. Obviously, that is why that kind of explains why he has everything up until coming to this world, because after coming to this world is where he starts growing to be a better person. Up until that time, when he was in his real world, he was, obviously, we know what happened to him. He was depressed. He got, like, didn't get along well with, like, his students in his school, and all that stuff happened. He just became a shut-in. He, like, had a bad relationship with his parents, and then he freaking got isekai. So after getting isekai, from the first moment onwards, he has started growing to be a better person. So all that good things took and just threw it away, you know. So basically, his memories in this world is gone. That's why, you know. So it's not. I guess it's not that she particularly took the memories of this world and threw it away. She just took the good parts of it, like, things that where he started going from, and threw all of that away. Coincidentally, obviously, like, it turns out that from when he started to go to become a better person, ended up being from the very first day when he got isekai here, and that's why all those memories are gone. I don't know. At least that's how I interpret this. Yeah, we threw away those pesky memories. All that's left is to eat you all up. And I do wonder if that's why, like, Rem kind of manifested here, because they kind of threw the memories out. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, okay, so that was the Arne part. That was the biggest part that I wanted to kind of, like, revisit after reacting, because there was a lot of things that I was unclear about, but I think I got most of the stuff now. Right, now let's talk about the other stuff. First and foremost, we had like, Subaru and everyone being like, what should we do? So Subaru's like, yeah, let's read Raid Astria's book. At first they were also talking about whether Raid Astria is still alive or not, but either way, they were like, let's go and see what's happening. And goes to, or on the way towards the library, Subaru has a conversation with Julius, where Julius is like, like, what do you want to talk? And Subaru's like, yeah, you have to win against Raid Astria. It's not that you're lacking in courage, you're lacking in the determination of not to lose. So yeah, and he says, like, obviously, the previous you who has lost Raid Astria, I am the Natsuki Subaru who has no clue about any of that. So to me, you're like, obviously I'm seeing you for the first time in this world, to me, or to my memories. So go and show your best, because the previous you don't exist within me. And that is also, it's kind of interesting, because if you think about it, that is actually kind of correct, because Subaru is actually the only person who remembers him. And obviously, after Subaru, like, kind of reintroduced him to everyone, now everyone kind of talks to him, and it seems like they all know each other. But it's so funny, because I really forgot that Ulysses like, memory has been eaten. I completely forgot about that fact. Like, when Julius mentioned that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. He actually is almost in a similar situation as Rem. Like, like, Rem is comatose like a vegetable, but that's not his situation, because one part of his memories got eaten. Everyone else's memories of him got eaten. His memories didn't get eaten. So he's still walking around, at least. But the fact that everyone's talking to him normally is because Subaru kind of told them about him and reintroduced him, I guess you could say. So technically, Subaru is the only person who kind of remembers him or remembered him. So now Subaru is like, oh yeah, that previous me doesn't exist anymore in me. Or, I don't have the memories. So this you, like, I have not seen you lose. So don't lose. I have no knowledge of you ever losing to Raid. What you're lacking isn't courage. Right. It's the will to win, the determination not to lose. Okay, so anyways, that was that, and like, we had like a proper conversation with Julius. I literally talked about this in the previous episode. I was like, we need to have a conversation with Julius, and here we had it. Okay, and then after that, like, they were like, all right, let's read the book, blah blah blah, and then like, this happens. I was kind of confused at first. I was like, why do reading the books make us get us transported here? But then I realized, when like, Rihanna kind of talked about the what did she call it, like, some cradle or whatever, I forgot it again. Odoragna, the cradle of Odoragna. So yeah, I was like, why is he here? But then they kind of explained, like, this is the corridor of memories, this and that. So I'm assuming that like, they actually stopped Subaru from going through this, and that's why he just manifested here. You know, like yeah, they kind of stopped him midway before reaching Rui Arneb's Red Astra's memories. Okay, anyways, and then you can see like Rui Arneb kind of tries to make Subaru like regret. She's like, oh, like you want the previous Subaru's memory back? Why would you want that? The previous Subaru is going to overwrite you. Blah blah blah. You should kill the previous Subaru. You know, like you worked so hard for making this version of Subaru. Why would you do make it easy for the other one to take over? All that stuff she's saying. Obviously, as we get to know later, she was doing this deliberately so that this Natsuki Subaru and the previous Natsuki Subaru separate, so that it's easier for them to eat him. But obviously, before any of that happened, Rem's memory manifested here. And like I said, I do wonder if it is because Rui Arneb threw away all the good things, all the good parts of his memories over here. And maybe that's why that just automatically manifested in the form of Rem and came and, like said all of those things to Subaru. He's like, stand up, Subaru, like, all that stuff happens, and then Subaru jumps back again. Right. And while all of this is happening, over there, all the Mabis are on their way. We have Shaola defending this place, Julie's fighting, and then we also have Emilia and what's his name? Emilia and Ram go trying to save Rem, but then in comes this freaking guy, the other gluttony comes in. So now Emilia's fighting him. All those things are going on. And then after that, Subaru's like, oh, I'm not going to give you what you want. Try more. And yeah, and Rui Arneb was like, oh, we were so close. The previous Subaru and this Subaru would have separated, and then we could eat you again, all that stuff. Yeah, and now the previous Subaru, the current Subaru, he has left this place, trying to go and take care of the situation that is happening outside. Right, so there you go. That is what happened in today's episode. Like I said, I think that's what happened. Like everything that I talked about in this episode is what I understood. I might be wrong about a few things here and there, but this is my interpretation of this episode as to a few of the things that they kind of explained. So basically, in a nutshell, Rui Arneb found someone like Subaru who's literally like is worth so much more. Like he's like a memory producing factory basically, and they eat memories and everything, so it's like food to them. So he's like that one person who just keeps producing that, and even after you eat it, he just comes back with more, and you eat it again. So that's why to him, to them, Subaru is so fascinating, and But the only problem is, once eaten are part of the Subaru's memories, the previous memory and this memory is mixed, so they have to separate it. If they're unable to separate it, they cannot eat something that they've already eaten. So like it doesn't work. That's why she was trying to separate them. Either way, yeah. So basically, that's what the Subaru is to them. Also, Subaru is someone who has experienced death, as they explained that she wants to explain some, like she wants to experience like someone who has experienced death. Also, the fact that they plan on keeping eating unless and until they find someone who has had the perfect life. Not the perfect life, I would say, who has had a life with no regrets, basically. With no, like with no, what's that word? Grievance or anything of that sort. Obviously, if you are human, that is not possible. So they have they have made such a like crazy thing as their target that they're never probably going to reach. So they're just going to keep eating until that happens. But the thing is that will probably never happen. So they'll just keep eating forever. And Subaru's perfect for that because he just keeps coming back with memories to them. So yeah, and that's what's going on. I think. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because that's how I kind of interpreted like that whole section of that conversation and all that. Anyways, that was today's episode. Great episode. Let's see how this proceeds. That is it. That was my reaction to episode number 13 of ReZero Season 4. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.